Hello and welcome to episode 4 of the ToyBoyz podcast. My name is Chad and I'm here with Chris, Eric, and Jared. We're here to talk all things toys. So let's get started. Welcome to our millions and millions of fans who watch us, every single time we post an episode. We love you and we appreciate you being here. Want to jump right into, there's so many reveals that have happened. Chris, I feel like you were our man on the street, if you will. For San Diego Comic-Con, there were so many different reveals. I know you caught some photos and some videos of stuff. Why don't you tell us about what you saw, what you're excited about, what you might hate, what's cool, what's not cool, what were you feeling?
Well, I was there at Comic-Con and I was there all week and preview night, and it was pretty cool to see everything, all the reveals. I think the most exciting thing was the Thundercats lair, which was huge, but like fairly fairly priced. It was like, I think it was $650 for the lair, and then it's $100 shipping, so like $750, which seems like crazy for how big it is, because I mean you could see the pictures and it's like, it's okay, that looks big, but when you actually see it like in front of you, it's like, wow, this thing's huge.
Very cool. I don't even know if I saw that. Who makes that?
Super 7.
Oh, that's a Super 7. Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Well, yeah,
Yeah.
because there's some beefy figures. So I think just to keep the ratio right, like that thing's gonna be huge. I'm gonna
Yeah,
have to look that up. Yeah.
the figures are like 7-inch scale, so it's pretty big.
Very cool. Nice. Anything else you saw that was just super exciting or
Oh well, obviously the NECA booth was really cool. They had like all the new turtles. They had the Mirage or the Archie comic turtles that
yeah.
were pretty cool, and they had a few new of the Hollywood monsters, the Universal monsters.
Yeah.
They had like a new creature and werewolf Ninja Turtle.
I saw that. I think Donnie was the creature, maybe. Donatello was the creature, and maybe
Leonardo
Raph
was the creature, I think.
was that what yeah, I got you.
I think so. But there was this other booth that was it was called Syndicate Toys, I think. And they had a lot of really cool stuff that I thought was interesting. They had like toys from the movie Bloodsport with Van Damme.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited for that.
And they had some toys for the movie True Romance with
I don't even
Christian Slater. It was like it was like one of the first movies that Quentin Tarantino wrote, and Gary Oldman's in it. It's really good.
Oh, okay, I'll have to look it up. Yeah, I don't think I've heard of that.
Yeah.
Nice. Very cool. So
Oh, they also
Bloodsport.
I'm sorry, they also had some Ghoulies figures, and they had Double Dragon figures,
Oh
and they
wow.
had like a Pumpkinhead figure that they were working on too. So sorry, it was a lot of stuff.
No, that's cool. Pumpkinhead, Andrew Robinson was in Pumpkinhead, wasn't he? Andy Robinson? I'm feeling like
Uh
maybe he played the cop in Pumpkinhead or
Lance
Pumpkinhead
Hendrickson.
2. Lance Henderson.
Maybe in the second one. Yeah, the second one's not good.
Oh, I got you. Oh, okay. All right. I'll tell Andy Robinson you said that. When we see him when we see him next week at SW, I'll be like, hey, my boy Chris here said your movie sucks, guys. So I don't know what you want me to do about that. All of a sudden, Chris just
Brewster's in that
disappears.
one too.
Yeah, the Obsidian Order got him. I don't know what you want me to say. And he's like, even Pumpkinhead 2, like especially Pumpkinhead 2. So that's cool. So Bloodsport figures, who would have ever thought in 2023 we'd be talking about Jean-Claude Van Damme action figures from Bloodsport? I feel like I just watched that movie fairly recently, within the last couple of years. You said Syndicate is the name of the company that's putting those out?
Correct.
That's interesting. That's interesting.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was gonna say another thing that I was really, really excited for. Sorry, I keep throwing stuff out.
No, it's cool.
Like,
It's all right. We're just
is the Nacelle company
yeah.
doing the
Yeah.
biker mice,
That's pretty amazing. Yeah.
and also the Expanse figures.
Oh, is that Nacelle too? We're doing the Expanse figures.
Yeah, they're doing that too. They were showing all that off at the Diamond Select booth
That's really cool. So they had the biker mice on display. The biker mice from Mars figures on display. Really?
with the bikes.
Oh, that's pretty cool. And the helmets and everything.
Yep.
That's insane. I man, that's nuts. So I just saw that Ryan Reynolds is making the series, right? He's bringing the series back. He's like rebooting the series. The
Yeah,
biker mice.
he's like a producer or something, or he's
Yeah.
doing. Yeah, I went to the nacelle panel. So they were saying that that's still like brand new. That Ryan Reynolds just like jumped aboard, and they're gonna, put out the cartoon.
That's amazing.
So,
Do
yeah,
we have an
that's
ETA on when that's?
no. They were saying that like the ink is still fresh, so they're like they barely like made the deal. So I mean, I know they're doing the RoboForce cartoon right now, so they're probably
Yeah.
still
Yeah.
in the very beginning stages of even talking. Cause they haven't even picked the like voice actors yet. They were talking about possibly bringing back the original voice actors,
nice.
but yeah, we'll see.
Wonder how old they are.
Oh yeah. That's a good question. That's a good question.
I don't know. A lot of those voice actors, no matter how old they get, like they're still able to pull it off. I mean, look at the guy who does Optimus Prime.
I was about to say he's still perfect. Like
Yeah.
he still is amazing.
Even the guy who does Fry on Futurama and the lady that does Bart Simpson. I mean, they're all still the only ones that can really do that.
True.
Very true.
Yeah, they keep. I don't know. My voice is all kind of jacked. I can't talk for more than 5 minutes without just being like, okay, I'm good. I couldn't do it for 30 years. That's crazy, man. Like I also believe Ryan Reynolds is bringing back Alf. He's bringing Alf back to TV. Did you see this? Have you seen this? Have you heard about this? So speaking of things from the 80s that you just thought were dead and gone, here comes Alf and Bloodsport at the same time. So we're living I don't know if we're living in the worst timeline, but it's definitely the most interesting timeline. And I mean, Alf, it's crazy how many Alf figures NECA puts out. Like the Toon Alfs, they had the Ultimate Alf, a few months ago that came out that was great, but then they doubled down and they came out with the San Diego Comic-Con, the version of Alf where he's got the camera and he's walking around, and it's crazy, man. It's just it's funny. I know we talked about this, like almost every single episode about how just nostalgia is just kind of ruling the Toon world. We haven't even really gotten into Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles yet today, because the amount of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles merchandise coming out right now is absolutely insane. It's insane. It's ridiculous. It's
almost too much.
I agree. I feel like we're like super saturating the market a little bit, especially in terms of a collector. I'm not a completist, but like I see so many things. I'm like, this would be amazing to have, but like, I can't fly to Shanghai and spend, $150 on like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle mech figure, even though it looks amazing, in that clear plastic or whatever. That I saved a picture of that so that Aaron can pop it up when we talk about it, because it's really cool looking. But like what? Like how that's just crazy. There's too much. It's almost like Avery says it sometimes. He's like, man, I just feel like they're doing too much right now. So it's a lot, man. So Eric, what about you? Did you see anything? Did you see any pictures or videos? I always feel like the pictures that come out of San Diego Comic-Con, especially on preview night, I feel like they're always like Bigfoot pictures. They're always super blurry. They look terrible. You can barely see what you're looking at. Like, so did you see anything that came out from Comic-Con last weekend that you were really enjoying, that you need to get, or that you're interested in?
Yeah, I noticed NECA is coming out with figures from the 1980 Flash Gordon movie, which I'm fairly big fan of, I guess, kind of a cult classic kind of thing. They had kind of teased us before by doing figures like sort of from that story, but not from the movie. It was like alternate versions of them. It wasn't, like Ming the Merciless didn't have the right costume, and I thought that was the only one we were ever going to get, so I bought it. And now that they've come out with these, it's like I don't really need that one anymore. I'll probably eBay it or whatever.
Yes.
I ended up never opening it. Yeah, so Flash Gordon figures, those look cool. I mean, there's just the regular rounds of the next wave of Star Wars stuff, the next wave of GI Joe, the next wave of Transformers.
Yeah.
We were talking before the show started about the HasLab reveal for the Star Wars Vintage Collection Ghost from the Rebels animation, and I believe that's $4.99. It looks like absolutely huge. Like a lot of people are really excited for it. I think it backed in like a day or 2 days or something. So they knocked it out of the park with that one. I don't know if I'm personally going to get it. It's so huge. I don't know. Like I'd be curious to know from Chris, like where you're gonna put that Thundercats lair. Or it's so big.
I don't even. I'm there. I don't know. I don't
Gotta
even
live in
want,
it, bro.
want
That's
to get it.
that's your new house, bro. That's what you just gotta you gotta move into it. That's all you can do.
I don't even collect the Thundercats figures, but after seeing the price of it and what you're getting for the price, I was kind of like, well, maybe I could, maybe I could get some Thundercats, It's like seriously, the price is like so fair for what you're getting. But I mean, and also like when I was a kid, I actually had like the Thundercats lair, so that is like total nostalgia for me. Like I used to use that for other figures, not even Thundercats, and
Mm.
Sure.
I had that thing for so long, like longer than I've had any of the Thundercats figures because I lost them or broke them or whatever. But like, yeah, like that's something that's I would love to own, but yeah, I don't have the space. The thing that's cool though about the Ghost Has Lab is the I like how it's kind of like the original Millennium Falcon where it's like a vehicle, but it's also kind of like a play set too,
Yeah.
Like I just thought that was really cool, like the functionality of it, like it just opens up and you can put them in the cockpit and there's different areas, and I think it had like an escape pod too or a shuttle or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not familiar with Rebels.
I don't remember if it has lights and sounds, but maybe it does for $500. I would hope so. Because the Millennium Falcon did. So that would be really cool. Yeah, I mean, I was just looking at what I did pre-order a bunch of stuff, but it was mostly, the Hasbro stuff is probably what I spend the most money on. I do collect Masters of the Universe, so also, and they did announce that Origins line that they've been doing for a few years now, which is the same size and shape, basically of here's one Cobra Khan.
Very convenient. Yeah.
Same like look as the vintage figures, but it has like all this additional articulation and posability basically. But it's kind of the best of both worlds. Has the vintage look, but you can pose them so much better. This has been a really great line that some guys on YouTube have been predicting is going to die for a long, for the last year. They've been saying, oh, it's over. There's no more coming. What they announced was that they're going to be continuing the line, but instead of selling them at retail, they're going to be exclusively from Mattel Creations. Which I don't know if you guys have had to order anything from there before.
No.
But it's kind of can I say shit show on this podcast? Aaron can bleep me out later.
Man's gonna shut us down, yeah.
But it's one of those things where they have not figured out how to keep the bots like out from scooping everything up. So for an entire line to go to that model instead of just the one or two exclusives, it's going to be interesting to see, can they meet up with the demand for that. So
that is interesting. So they won't just be like, you can't just go get them at Target like you used to be able to. You gotta, it's gonna be like online exclusive through Mattel Creations, and then
yeah, the entire line. Yeah. I mean, I get most of my stuff from Entertainment Earth and Big Bad Toy Store.
Yeah.
I rarely go toy hunting in stores anymore. That could be a whole separate topic. But yeah. So to not have that, the luxury of just, figures going up, pre-order, don't have to worry about it, there's no, it's 9 a.m. Oh my God, I gotta get on the computer and click. The stress of it.
I was doing that today, right before this recording, actually, with something.
Eric, aren't you supposed to be at work today?
Working from home has made it a lot easier. I'll say about that. Thank you, COVID.
I will say that every time NECA does like a drop, you know what I mean? And some guys like, oh man, I gotta work. I'm like, sucks to be you, guy. Like I'm just sitting here like just pull it up on my laptop and I'm good to go. So it's a good life. Yeah.
One thing about those Masters of the Universe origins that a lot of people were talking about is like the fact like not only the added articulation and stuff, but a lot of them are they're keeping the action features that a lot of them had, like like when we were younger. Like
What about
especially
Stinkor? What about this? What was his name? Stinkor or
well,
whatever?
they're kind of like picking and choosing like the things that they think would work,
okay. I got you.
Yeah.
like into the modern kind of
Yeah.
area. Like I don't know his name, but the guy that kind of would spin, the one that they revealed at San Diego Comic-Con. Do you know, Eric? The blue guy?
No, we're getting really deep into the catalog, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I remember I had that figure as a kid, and it had like a little dial on the back, and you could like spin him around, and his torso would spin like a, like a top.
Yeah,
and
I remember. Yeah.
they're saying that he's gonna still have that action feature, but it's gonna be a way where you kind of like pull up his torso, so he can have that function, and then you could pop it back so he can be stationary, and you could just pose them on your shelf or something. So
Cyclone, right?
yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
the other guy that they showed, it was like I don't know his name either, but he had like looks like the catcher's mask or something. But like he has like you could extend his arms and his also like his torso, like so he still has like those
his name literally might be Extendor. I like that's how on spot like they were with their names back in the day. It was ridiculous.
That is his name, yeah.
Extender, yeah. That literally is his name. It looks like, yeah.
Now, Masters of the Universe fans are like pulling their hair out. They're like, Extendor, come on!
He's the guy that extends. He's Extender. What are you doing? I'm curious if they pull off the Stinkor figure or whatever his name was from you know what I'm talking about, where like he literally smelled terrible. His name was Stinkor. And I know that like when they were working in the factory making the figure, like it made everybody sick in the factory, like making the whatever it was in him that smelled so bad.
Actually, I have the Stinkor figure, and they did try to. I mean, I don't know what it smelled like before. I didn't have that one when I was a kid, but it does smell bad. And there is a little leaflet that comes with the figure, kind of demonstrating, its features. And one of them shows like a boy, looks like 8 years old, shoving the figure like in his sister's face, and her going like this.
Oh man,
nice. We gotta find that photo so Aaron can put that up for us, because that's good. That's good. It's a good way to demonstrate.
I wonder if they're gonna bring back Mosquito. Wasn't that the one where you put he'd suck up the water and it would like shoot it back or something?
I know there was one that was that his name.
Well, this guy,
triangle face.
See this this thing that's supposed to be like simulating like something is shooting out. They did that instead of this guy. You could pop the head off. You could fill it up with water. You'd push down on his head and it would squirt out. They did not implement that with this new figure. Which
well, that's kind of more like when I was a kid, I thought it might be cool to squirt water all over the place, but like as an adult, that's a much better. Like there's something cool happening. You know what I mean? Like I remember Kenner when they came out with the Aliens line back in '92 or whatever it was, and there was a gorilla. I think it was a gorilla alien where like his head was all squishy. It was big and squishy, and you could like squeeze it and then fill it up with water, and then it would spit acid, at like everybody or whatever. So that was cool. But I wouldn't like as an adult, I would be like, yeah, it's time to shoot water all over the place. Like there's some stuff that I just grew out of, like glow in the dark toys. I'm like, I don't care. But like as a kid, I'm like, oh man, it glows in the dark. That's so amazing. But as an adult, when Super 7's like, yeah, we got the new glow in the dark Muck Man, I'm like, cool. I don't know.
Do it once and then never again.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I was talking
to G.I. Joe figure Zartan, where it was the San Diego Comic-Con version of him, where if you put him in the freezer, his skin would turn blue.
Oh, nice.
When you took him out, I forgot. I never did it actually. I haven't opened that one yet.
Zartan, isn't that the thing from Big where he wishes he could be big? Or,
I think
um,
Voltaire or something,
oh, close enough for Jazz.
or like
Um,
kicks us all off.
I wish I could sleep.
Did we talk about that once before?
Do we?
I thought we did, maybe not.
No, that does not sound familiar to me. Yeah, it's all good. You know, while we're just kind of talking about nonsense, which is mostly what we do anyway. Just a heads up for everybody watching. I don't know when this is gonna drop exactly. I know like Aaron's got to edit and stuff like that, but we will be recording ourselves in person live literally next week in Vegas at the Star Trek Las Vegas convention. So it'll be kind of interesting for this to happen in person live for the first time ever since we came up with this ridiculous idea to have a toy podcast in the first place at STLV, just riding around in the car, just
A live
joking.
audience,
What's up?
in front of a live studio audience.
In front of a live studio audience who will be heckling us. So like it will be raucous, I would imagine. It will be wild. We'll be in Yez's room, and there's going to be a bunch of people there who are drunk. Probably, maybe even us too. Why not? I mean, let's not do this sober. That would be boring.
Wasted opportunity. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
If we're gonna do it right. So
You're in Vegas.
Vegas stays in Vegas, but this podcast
Except, yeah,
available for everybody.
this podcast is not staying big. Neither does herpes. Just putting that. Just not. I've heard. I don't know from personal, but I've heard that.
For life, this podcast, I don't
Yeah.
know. Maybe we got 2 more. I don't even know.
Who knows? I don't know. We recorded the best podcast ever before Chris joined us today, so that could be the series finale for all we know. So cool. Anyway, all right. So back to the thing we're supposed to be talking about for the most part, toys. So so Chris, one thing I know you didn't touch on earlier that I wanted to make sure we hit up for, because we all met at a Star Trek convention. That's how we got to know each other. Make sure that we throw this out there for our Star Trek brethren and sisterin and otherin, if you will. Were the XO6 those lower deck statues, at least, that you saw at San Diego? How'd you feel about those?
I thought they looked really nice. I couldn't tell, but it looked like possibly like they're gonna have arms that you could switch out and maybe multiple heads. It
Sure.
didn't that, but I was looking at them and I could see that like they look like there was like 2 of each, like there was 2 Boimlers and 2 Mariners.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
But I looked at the body and like the way the legs were, the way the legs and the body were kind of molded. It looked like those were kind of like with one piece where the arms were different on both of them and the heads was different. Thinking like, okay, maybe it's just one figure and it's gonna have like 2 sets of arms and like 2 different heads, so you can mix and match them or display them how you want, which is like what a lot of statues do now. They give you full heads. So
what is the size of them?
They were about, I don't know, like 7 or.
That's what I heard was 7.
Does it look like?
Okay. Now we know that Eric prefers 6 inches.
Yeah.
So 7's pushing it a little bit, but I think you can fit it in. I think you can make it work. Otherwise,
I think it's cool that we're seeing some lower decks like merch, even though they're statues.
Yeah,
it's cool. Like they're actually, putting an effort in something that we can put on a shelf.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of us, myself especially, I really think that a lot of us thought, hey, now that Playmates has the Star Trek license again, like we'll get some of those like retro figures. Like we'll obviously see TNG figures because those will probably sell and stuff like that. But I think I was really hoping, I was like, Prodigy would be a really great line for them to get into, and they did. They just didn't finish it. But I also was really hoping for lower decks figures. I was like, those were the great, like if Playmates did like lower decks and you had like, the whole crew and everything, that would be really cool. And I mean, I don't know if we'll ever see any of those again. Playmates is going so hard in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles world right now that and I'm just guessing the Star Trek stuff wasn't selling, like the stuff that they did release. We haven't heard anything forever. I mean, I feel like a
There-
year and a half at least.
There was something that someone posted where someone asked Playmates like, "What's the deal with the Star Trek line?"
Yeah.
And they were like, "Oh, like it's not dead yet." So
Okay.
That's
It's
good.
not dead yet. Okay.
not yet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, not yet. Yeah.
We haven't pulled the plug yet. It's on life support. So yeah, so somebody's gonna walk into Playmates and say computer in program, and they're just gonna shut down the whole Star Trek.
Another-
So yeah,
Another thing about XO6 and STLV is they're going to be showing figures off there too. So the stuff that we thought we were going to see at Comic-Con is actually going to be revealed at STLV, which is I think is exciting. I think we're all pretty excited about it.
definitely. So while we're at STLV, we're gonna have our, I think we talked about this before. We're gonna walk around the vendors room. We're gonna have like our little event. I've actually promised this to some people in the XO6 Facebook collectors group, that we would do like that walk around the vendors room, see some stuff, and kind of show it off. And then especially the XO6 stuff, because that's really, in terms of like actual brand new Star Trek, merchandise, that's only, there's a couple of companies doing it now, but they've been really putting a lot of stuff out. It's not like Super 7's gonna have a booth there, you know what I mean, or Playmates, or anybody else, or is it Haya that's making those, what is that, 3 3/4 scale figures?
Yeah.
So it's not like we're gonna see them there, but the fact that XO6 is there and the fact that they realize how important that is to be at STLV, that's really cool. So really gonna be glad to see the booth there and what they bring with them. And I think maybe we talked about this earlier. I just got my Shran in yesterday, my 1/6 scale Shran in yesterday. I haven't opened it up yet, but the pictures are looking great. They've got Kira up on pre-order right now. They've got Data from the Next Generation up on pre-order right now. They've got some really good stuff coming out there, and a lot of people are thinking they're going to also release the Data's Ops console too. So like, it's a lot of excitement about what they're doing, and
Locutus is going to be dropping soon too. That should be like
yeah, that's going to be dope. I feel like even if you were like, I'm not going to get super deep into that XO6 line, I feel like you would even want you'd want at least Locutus. You know what I mean?
I
Definitely.
didn't pre-order it, but now I'm like, man, I really want it now.
You didn't pre-order it?
I didn't because
Chris,
like I don't know if I want like
Chris.
so many interpretations of like the same character.
No,
but-
I agree, because I have Playmates made 2 different versions of Locutus. Why, I don't know. But there's 2 of them from Playmates, and then Diamond Select has one, I know, and Migo has one. There are a bunch of different Locutus figures out there, but this one is just top notch. So I know they said that they would have some up for immediate purchase, but they were like, it won't be a lot. Like, it's just not going to be that many. So
It might be the only like Borg figure that they make. I think they're gonna make the Borg Queen, but
that's highly likely, as opposed to just like a generic Borg, you mean? Oh,
Yeah.
if they made Hugh eventually down the line, I know that would be more of a deep cut. Like, it's harder to sell Hugh than it is Locutus or whatever, but like Locutus, they had a baby. If Locutus and Hugh had a baby and called it Locutus. All right, I'm just gonna keep that. I'm gonna keep that. That's my fan fiction. I'm gonna come up.
Keep that behind closed doors.
you this.
Yeah.
Locutus. Yeah, man. So Jared, what about you? How are you feeling about that? The XO6 Locutus. I know you seem like you're pretty.
Oh, yeah,
pumped
no,
about it. Did you make some room on the mantle? Did we talk about you had a mantle last time?
No, I've not made room yet, but yeah, no, I think Locutus is probably the most, at least for me, the most exciting figure that they have.
Definitely.
Just the amount of detail they put into it. I just looking at the other ones too. I've yet to get any. Eventually, I will, but man,
You can hear Aaron in the background, like, no, you won't.
yeah. Yeah. So.
Oh man, that's funny, man. So one thing, I hate to keep going back to Comic-Con, but like, it was such an intricate part of everything we're talking about. The one thing we hit the pre-orders discussion the last time for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3, the samurai figures, as well as the Kino with the scooter that came out. And Eric, you got Kino, right?
Yep. Yeah, I broke down on that one, even though I thought it was a little overpriced, but
Yeah,
with
no,
the box.
they threw in all that extra junk and then charged $100 for it. I hate that. Yeah,
I was in the line already for the NECA exclusives,
yeah.
and I was just like, oh, what am I gonna get? Am I gonna get Elf? Am I gonna get Kino? Am I gonna get the Turtles? And I was just like, well, I never wanted to get the three Turtles anyways. So I was like, okay, I guess I'll just get Kino. And then after standing in line for like 30, 40 minutes, I was like, you know what? Like I could probably buy this on AliExpress. And why am I paying like so much for like a stupid keychain, like a shirt that's probably not gonna fit me, and like, all this, the pizza box, all this extra stuff. I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna take the chance to maybe see if they're gonna release it later down the line, or like get it on AliExpress or something later, because it's like I haven't even displayed any of my other turtles. Like I still have them all in the box. Like I don't have room for that stuff, even though I like it. It's just I'm more into like other things right now, like X06 or Marvel Legends,
Yeah,
and
yeah. What's funny is I feel like NECA said that they were not going to release like a simple like just Kino with the scooter as like a 2-pack, because those are Walmart exclusives typically, right? The movie line. I think they said that they were not going to do that. So I don't, but NECA says a lot of stuff, and then I feel like they do the opposite of that a lot. So
Yeah.
it's kind of hard to keep up with what is really going to happen and what really is not going to happen. So I'm kind of curious, but yeah, I feel like once those orders start shipping from Comic-Con, which was going to be very soon for the pre-orders, I feel like we're going to see a lot of the extra junk, like the pizza box and the stuff the t-shirt and whatever, up on eBay for 20 or $30, because nobody wants it. They're like, I just wanted Kino and the scooter, like I didn't want all this extra junk with it.
I think that's like enough for me because of that intro scene in the movie. Like that, I love that. That's like one of the
Where he
greatest.
fat shames the girl, you mean? What does he say? He's like, yeah, and she'll probably be a lot thinner than you. Like he rides off on his scooter or whatever. Like it's very
One we didn't mention on the NECA booth that like a lot of people were going crazy about was that huge Krang.
yes.
Oh yeah, that looks cool.
Yeah,
Suit. Yeah, like that was like actually one of the biggest things besides because I went to the Toy Tuber panel.
Yeah.
Those were like the two things that a lot of them were talking about besides like the Thundercat lair. Was they were also all talking about the Krang with the robot body, and that thing is big. It's like the size of like a quarter scale NECA figure.
Well, that was the question, is it a quarter size figure, or is it supposed to be fit in with the Toon Line and it's like a giant Krang in the Toon Line? I guess if it was quarter size, it wouldn't make sense, right? Because it would.
Yeah, because if it's supposed to be like quarter scale to coincide with the other quarter scale turtles, it doesn't make sense. But I'm not. I do remember like the robot suit being like much bigger than the turtles, but also like the Krang was large size too, like on the toy. I haven't really done a rewatch of all the cartoons. I don't know. Have you, Chad? Can you
It's been a while since I've gone back and watched, especially the old 80s series. It's one of those things you love as a kid, and it's just kind of hard to watch as an adult. You know?
Yeah.
I mean? Yeah.
I've been rewatching the X-Men cartoon a lot lately.
Oh well, that's different. That's for adults. That's
times like just
I'm still not mature enough to watch it. Yeah.
I watched the Turtles with my daughter maybe last year. We got through maybe 30 of the episodes, and then it kind of tapered off from there.
Oh, gotcha.
I mean, isn't there like 120 episodes or something? It's a lot.
It is a lot.
Like 7 seasons or something. So
Right.
it's like, we watched enough so she could get the gist of it. Like, I know what the Turtles is all about now, and she enjoyed it, but we don't need to watch like 150 of them.
Checks out.
Move on to the next.
They're going to be showing them too on TV now, all the original ones.
Yeah, now that Nickelodeon is or Paramount picked them up so they can show them on Nickelodeon, I think, right? And I think they're going to probably stream on Paramount Plus as well.
There's like a channel on my TV. I think it's like Pluto Network, and it's just all turtles all the time. Like they show all the turtles cartoons.
Oh, nice.
Nice. That is pretty dope. you know, we talked about it earlier. There's so many things coming out with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles right now. One thing we didn't even. Oh, also the turtle van, the NECA turtle van.
Oh
Was
yeah,
that on display at Comic Con?
it was, but it was like because they made all these. Oh, actually, see, there's too many turtle things out there because now I can't remember if it was the Super 7 one or if it was the NECA one. But I know they had the Super 7 one, like the new, because they remodded it again. And but it wasn't like painted up because it's still in the like early production stages. So it was just like I think they just had it there to show you like how big it's gonna be and how the turtles fit in there.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like anywhere near like, oh, this is how it's gonna look when you get it, you know?
Gotcha. Okay. I know the NECA, like they had to do some alterations to it. Some people were complaining about some things, and uh, it it kind of pushed it back a little. I feel like I've had it on pre-order for like a year and a half or
Yeah.
something like that, which, you know, for some toys is actually not that long. You know, sometimes you expect 2, maybe even 3 years for a pre-order. Um, Usually NECA will put it out 9 or 10 months after, so this is taking a lot longer than normal from them. I've got 2 coming when they finally get released, but I've heard that it's modular, like you can move some stuff around in there, so it's kind of pretty dope to know that like there's some things that you can. Same thing with the turtle lair. The turtle lair was probably on display there at San Diego Comic Con, right? From NECA.
I don't remember that. You know, it was hard to see some of the stuff, which is why why the photos on the preview night
Are always so grainy and stuff.
they have the line going right in front of where the display cases is. So it's like you have to ask people like, hey, can you move a little bit so I could take pictures, or
Oh, I gotcha.
feel like you're being intrusive on these people who have been waiting in line, you
Yeah.
know?
You know, I hate to keep beating these turtles to death, but big movie coming out next weekend. Uh the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem, right? And you know, with as much marketing that went into that Barbie movie, like I know they spent like $100 million on marketing or whatever. It felt like Barbie was everywhere. I feel like Turtles is everywhere too, whether people are kind of realizing it right now or not. It's on cereal, it's on mac and cheese, it's on pizza,
Yeah.
like everywhere, like literally everywhere right now, man. It's wild. The pizza, I really like the new turtle van that they made. It's got like, you know how like on the classic van it has just like the door that'll shoot out, and I think it has like a gun on it. You could sit somebody in like a gunner seat or whatever. This one
Finally.
actually shoots pizzas, like the old school pizza
Oh,
tosser or whatever.
nice.
As a kid, yeah. So like the little gunner seat comes out and you're just like shooting pizzas at everybody. It's pretty freaking cool. I mean, they look fantastic, I think.
I mean, I think we all definitely want that Spock Donatello.
Yeah, the
right?
Spockatello for
Yeah.
sure. I definitely, yeah. It is annoying that it comes in that 4-pack, but like, I mean, for $30, it's whatever. You know, I mean, it's fine. I need to get out to Walmart. I'm pretty sure that's a Walmart exclusive. I'm pretty sure I need to get out there and just try and see if I can find one. So I think we touched on this before, but the Haya figures, the Star Trek figures from Haya, the 3 3/4. Did you get a chance to look at those at Cindy? I didn't even know those were coming out. I don't think. So,
Yeah,
or
I got-
maybe I remember the announcement now because I remember thinking like I don't care about 3 3/4 size figures, and that was when Eric was like, I don't know about you guys, but 6 inches is the ideal for me. So like I remember having that conversation, but I don't remember seeing them. So did you actually see them on display at Comic Con?
Yeah, I did. They had some that were like already painted up, and they had some that were just like in the blank gray like stage.
Gotcha.
Look really detailed. They look pretty good for what they are. I think Kaya, I think they put out a bunch of like Predator little figures of the same scale, and they're like they're pretty detailed for the size, but they're also, I think they're like kind of like fragile.
Oh
um
yeah, yeah.
like because I want to say they did like some old like Batman Begins figures a long time ago, and I think I had some of those. I think it's Haya, but yeah, I mean the figures look cool. I thought it was an odd choice for them to do figures based on the 2009 movie.
I've also thought that was pretty random. Like, I
Yeah,
was like, is this
I was
Nero? Yeah, go ahead, Jared. What were you
I
saying?
was surprised to see that. Yeah, because I'm not aware of any other figures of from the 2009.
Playmates made them when the
Oh,
movie
really?
came out. Yeah, Playmates
Oh.
has some big. They
Diamond,
didn't. Yeah,
Diamond Select made a couple too. They made Spock and Kirk.
Oh, okay.
that's
Nice.
right. I had the Spock. Like,
Yeah, I have
Yeah.
them, and I have them in the box though because they're like kind of rare. They're kind of hard to find, so it's like I don't even want to open them. But I don't know. I just thought, yeah, that was just like a weird, like I don't know if that's just like the marketing team like not actually knowing the market or anything,
yeah.
but and they're just like, oh, that was a big movie in 2009, so maybe we should do these because there's not really any representation of these. But
Well, is there a generation of people younger than us where that's kind of their Star Trek, that
yeah,
they were at the right age when it came out?
I mean, I know, I think we all love those movies, right?
The
Yeah, I
first
mean, yeah, I
one,
mean, I
yeah,
enjoy the first one, and the third one is my favorite out of those three. The second one I can live without probably, but I don't know. I just wouldn't imagine myself in 2023 buying like the Nero figure. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like,
Totally.
yeah,
but for somebody who maybe was, I don't know, 12 years old when that came out, now they're in their 20s or early 30s, maybe now nostalgia is hitting for them for that. Whereas for us, we're kind of like, eh.
oh yeah, we're the old
Yeah.
man. We're, hey, what are you doing? Get over alone. Yeah, leave my
I don't know.
toys alone.
I guess it just depends on the price point for those and how readily available they are to get and acquire. But
Yeah.
honestly, I would rather have seen like Lower Decks or Strange New Worlds because that's like what really piques my interest as far as Star Trek merchandise and stuff. And I think there's none of that. So
True.
to see
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
that, especially Strange New Worlds. I just think there's a lot of material to work with on those. I
A
think,
lot of potential.
yeah, exactly. Like I would love to have like a Hammer. Plus, we need Pike. We need the Anson Mount Pike.
Yeah, got to get Pike
Definitely.
in there with
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
Pike's Peak and
Yeah.
yeah.
How much plastic can they use to get that hair right? You know what I mean? Like
I
to
know,
get
right?
it.
Oh, they're gonna have to make it a deluxe figure.
Yeah.
The box is like 13 inches long because it is
Right.
because of the hair. No, I agree. It'd be great to have an Anson Mount Pike and the Ethan Mountain. Like, it'd also be great for once to finally get a number one figure,
Yes.
right?
Yeah,
Yes.
Because I don't think we've ever had that from any line that I can think of, Playmates or Diamond Select or otherwise. So
dude. I think every character on. I love every character on Strange. There's not like one character where I'm like, ugh, like I don't want to see this character. I don't think there needs to be like a. I don't know. Maybe that Klingon from the last episode kind of rubbed me the wrong way, but
oh yeah, I don't think any of us have watched the last episode.
Yeah,
so
no spoilers.
Yeah, I know there's a Klingon in it, so you didn't ruin it for me. But like, but yeah, no, I guess I hadn't thought about it, but I really do like that entire crew. It is a bunch of very just talented and very likable, very attractive, like people, just a very good looking cast.
Yeah.
You're right. I hadn't thought about that. It would be nice to have some. I know
mean-
XO6 will definitely get into that line soon, but
and it's like every character is pretty interesting. It's not like I don't want to bash Discovery. I like Discovery, but I think there's also like they had a lot of characters that had a lot of potential that they never really did anything with. They were kind of like, like they would have maybe they would do an episode for highlight some of those characters like every now and then
Once in a while.
with
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, not enough. That's why I like the episodic format of Strange New Worlds, where you can have an episode that goes deep into one character and really fleshes them out, their backstory or whatever.
definitely. Yeah.
And
Agreed.
build each
Yeah.
character over time. Whereas Discovery, it seemed like it was the Michael Burnham show, like week after week after week.
Yeah.
And yeah, I
sure.
kind of got tired of that after a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, it gives you more of like a like it's like, okay, well, this is actually a crew where it's like, okay, each person has their part on the ship and everyone's important,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think, just that, and I know this isn't like a Strange New Worlds podcast, maybe it should be, but a couple of weeks ago, like Ortega's, when she's like, I fly the ship or whatever, that was almost like that is my part in this whole process, you know what I mean? Like that's what I do here. Like I am important as well. Like and Ortegas is actually, she might be my favorite character at this point, and I'm not even sure why. She just something about it that I really enjoy.
That was also like a Pike episode too. Like it was like they
Yeah.
they split that episode in half and made
Yeah.
it like you're seeing you're on the away mission, but you're also like on the ship. Sometimes
Yeah.
forget about that. Like, okay, they're doing an away mission, so we never see any of the other characters on the ship.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it'll be great to see some toys out of that line. I don't know if I'd want them in that 3 3/4 from Haya, but like, I mean, if Playmates put them out, I know XO6 is gonna put them out someday, so it'll be nice to get something. We need that
Yeah.
number 1 figure one day. So moving away from kind of these new releases and everything, let me ask you guys, this is just a general question. I've been seeing a lot of this. I saw a debate about this yesterday, actually. Mitten box versus open. Chris, I think we already know how you feel because everything behind you is open right now.
Yeah.
You said unless it's rare and valuable, then you
Yeah.
don't want to open it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I would prefer to have it open, but I hate to be like if there's something that's vintage and then like I have it in the box, I'm just kind of like I don't know. I don't feel worthy to open it and like I'm like I'll just like try and find one that's loose or something. I would, if I had the room for everything, I would love to have everything open and displayed like that.
And Eric, I can see that, obviously you've got a bunch of stuff open up behind you. Do you have any stuff in box that you keep, or is it pretty much everything's open up, or?
Yeah, I mean, even there are some things like some of the especially con exclusive type of items come in like really nice packaging, really elaborate boxes that look really cool. But I guess the closest thing I come to keeping something in the box is opening it and keeping the box and not throwing it away.
Yeah.
I have some friends who they're like, I don't have any room for boxes. It all goes in the trash. And that kind of is like, oh, like, what if you want to sell that one day? It'd be nice to put it back in the box and definitely keep the value a lot more. But yeah, I mean, some of my friends, they don't have a garage, let's say, so they don't have a place to shove all this stuff. We happen to have an attic, we happen to have a garage, so I can just put those boxes in like those 66 quart tubs, you get from Target, and pile them up in the garage. So I got several of those just filled with empty boxes, which drives my wife crazy because she's like, what do you need all these empty boxes for? Even when I open Lego sets, I don't want to throw away those boxes either, because I don't know, it's just they're cool looking. I like the marketing aspect of the toys too, what
Definitely,
they come up with for designs and whatnot. So I don't want to part with them. But yeah, as far as actual display, like my shelves and everything, I don't have like something that's still in the box sitting on a shelf.
Gotcha. Yeah.
I like to open them up. I like to pose them. I like to see what accessories they come with.
Certainly, yeah.
Another guy I know buys the G.I. Joe Classified Edition. They all have numbers on the spine. They're up to like number 75 now or what have you. And he showed me a picture once, and it was basically just like a bookshelf with all of the figures still in the box, turned sideways so you can see all the numbers.
Oh, I gotcha.
You can't even see the figures or the art on the front of the box.
I'll never understand that. Guys will be like, hey man, check out my collection. And it's a bunch of like sides of a box. And you don't even know. I don't even know what's in there. Like there's not even a picture of it on the side of the box. Like, I don't get that either. Real big fan of collecting numbers. Real big. That's it.
Well, maybe we need like a psychologist as a guest on the show one week to delve into, the whole habit of collecting.
Yeah. There's got to be somebody out there who's like, what is wrong with you people? Jared, what about you? I know you got some stuff, and is it some of it in box? And I feel like you had some micro machines, right, that were maybe in box still or something.
Yeah, so for me, I think, recently as an adult, obviously as a kid, I would open stuff, but as an adult, I do like to keep things in boxes. I think it just keeps it more pristine, and it's probably just my OCD of like, no, it needs to be new in box. I can look at the box, and one of the things I do enjoy, like Eric was pointing out, the marketing aspects on the box, like Legos always does such a great job of that. But yeah, like my set 3 of the Star Trek Micro Machines are in box still and proudly displayed. And
That's the
then
one with Voyager in it, right? Is that one of the
yeah,
reasons? Well,
and-
yeah, that makes sense. That I'd probably keep in box because
yeah.
that is hard to find. It is rare. It's gonna cost you 150, $200. So that makes
Oh
sense.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like my sets 1 and 2 that I have are open simply because I got them when I was a kid and I played with them. But all the other figures I've gotten so far recently, within the past few years, are all still in the packaging and just gingerly put in a shelf. Probably not the best display because I don't have that much room. But yeah, I just like the aspect of keeping everything all
Nice.
there, all together and pristine.
One thing I picked up that you might appreciate, Jared, is as a fan of the old Playmates Star Trek line, especially Voyager, was there's a guy you could call it a company, but it's literally a dude with like a garage basically that has a bunch of 3D printers in it. And he 3D prints all these like Star Trek like accessories or like set
Nice.
pieces, bridge pieces, stuff that are made for that line, that 4.5-inch Playmates Star Trek line. And he recently released Harry Kim's Ops console. He released 2-box tactical console. He's had that kind of the command chair set up with and the helm console. He just released maybe it was 2 weeks ago, that back computer, the really long one in the back. Yeah, as part of the bridge too. So you kind
Holy
of put it
cow.
all together. Yeah, and it's like really nice. Like kind of like a bridge piece. And then today that I literally just bought before we started doing this, he did the same thing for the Defiant. So kind of like that back wall piece with the two turbo the doors to enter the bridge. There's that little console kind of in the back, and then and then he's already released the captain's chair and the helm console. So you just kind of put it all together. It's like
Nice.
a pretty dope little thing set up.
No, I got a couple things I can show off here that I just picked up some recent pickups. So these I ordered them back in 2021. The Cosmic Legions. I don't know if you guys know about
Mythic Legions is the brand.
yeah, Mythic Legions by the Four Horsemen, and this is their Cosmic Legions line, which is more like sci-fi based. I'm trying not to get a glare here.
Dude, this is why we open stuff.
Let's unbox it right now. Let's go.
Oh, wait. This one's like a bigger figure.
Cool.
Oh, nice. Wow.
So
Aren't they like creating their own lore for these characters or comic books or something?
story about them, and they all have backgrounds. Here's like the rest of the line for this.
Oh, nice. Nice.
The thing of these figures though, that they have like swappable heads. They have like different this one has like 4 arms, or you can do 2 arms. You can change the weapons. A lot of guys just customize these figures. And so yeah, there's just a lot of possibilities you could do with this whole line. And another thing that I got recently that I've been bragging about is the Galactus.
Oh,
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, still in the box because I don't have anywhere to display it, but this thing is like so awesome. I still can't believe the price I got it for. But
Nice.
yeah, that's
crazy.
I mean, I got a lot of stuff. I got a lot of stuff recently, so I could go here all day, but I also got this guy too, this Marvel Legends Build-A-Figure
Oh, nice.
from the old like ToyBoyz line. But
Is that Chode or whatever his name is?
Chode.
Yeah.
He's one of the Star Jammers. But
Nice.
yeah, I got that. I got a Super Scroll at Comic-Con Build-A-Figure.
Oh, nice.
Cool.
I got Man King, also Build-A-Figure. But yeah. All right. I don't want to hog up all the time.
Eric, you got anything you want to show off?
Yeah, short time ago, I got this shipwreck figure from the GI Joe.
Oh,
Classic
nice.
line.
Nice. Nice.
So they did a really good job with the detail, recreating, what the original figure had. But giving him this rope piece you can put over his shoulder, and then Polly actually connects into a hole in the rope piece, so she stays put, unlike the original figure. So he's really cool. I recently opened up, this is not new by any means, but NECA had these figures from the original Alien movie. So that's pretty
Dallas?
cool.
Nice.
NECA does a great job on the amount of detail for the price. I mean,
Yeah.
really,
Yeah,
for $30.
I agree.
I don't know. I got a bunch of stuff here. It's funny because I'll open things up and they kind of go on to the desk first, because I'm sitting here like 8 or 9 hours a day working, so I get to enjoy them, and then they kind of eventually go into the glass cabinet to free up the space for someone else to come out on the desk. And there's also the coffee table over there too. So it's like there's this rotation from desk to coffee table to glass cabinet. Keep things moving around. That way I get to see things different places, enjoy them, and then they kind of have to go into the archives, as it were.
What's going on the floor over there? Were you playing?
Not here.
Yeah.
I need to get a better camera with a higher resolution so you can see, but that is my Lego classic space set.
Oh, nice.
Like with the lunar base plates and everything that
Oh,
they used to
man.
make, back in the late 70s,
Yeah.
Jealous.
the 80s.
That's like super.
Let me grab one of the ships. So like this, I think it's called the Cosmic Fleet Voyager. This one, it's really cool. It just has a lot of things that can open up, so you could put.
That's the original one, or
This came out in maybe 84. I have the Galaxy Explorer, and that's like the first. You want to see that? I got that right here too.
so those aren't remakes then, right? Those are like the original ones though.
Right. Yeah. Vintage Lego parts.
Oh
Man.
The one I didn't have this particular model as a kid, but I mean, I had this as a kid, but then the Legos had gotten so yellowed over time.
Yeah.
And these clear translucent pieces tend to crack and break. They're very brittle. And what happened was, when I was actually at STLV, was it 2 years ago? I was just at one of the events, informal event offsite, and we were chatting, and a fellow con goer had said, "Oh, you're into Lego? I got a ton of Lego back at the house. I haven't even looked in that suitcase in like 30 years, but I'll sell it to you." I said, "I'll have a look at it." And he brought it the next day, and it had like this in there with like 10 other sets. And
Nice.
I mean, this alone on eBay complete is at least $100, about
Yeah.
$150.
Yeah.
And he sold the whole lot to me for like $200.
Nice.
Wow.
Kind of like with
Nice.
you, Chris, like when you find like it's like such a lucky break, like I can't believe I ran into this guy, and just because I happen to mention Lego, he's like, "I got Lego too."
I thought that
So-
story was going to go different. I thought you were going to be like, man, I've got a bunch of Legos at the house. And then you go to his house, and then you end up like in a prison cell, like chained up to something. Like I was worried that it was gonna
lured me back
we're
there.
gonna get real dark. And you're like, yeah, my family didn't see me for 4 months. They had to pay a ransom or something like that. Yeah,
Hmm.
like
It's
that's
funny,
one way to
Because
get.
I ran into that guy and he sold me that stuff, then I started researching like, well, what are the other sets that came out in that sort of era?
Oh yeah.
And then it kind of, then I did buy a few more from eBay and a few here and there, and then I kind of started building this display back there.
Nice.
There is something to be said about like the vintage, the classic Lego collections. It's
Yeah.
just, oh man.
Well, I know Lego's been bringing back recently a lot of those vintage things. They've been re-releasing them. I saw one, it was like an ad for it or a sponsored ad or something like that for an old, I don't even remember what, it was like an old fort, like one of the old pirate kind of sets with like
Yeah. El Dorado Fortress.
is that what it was? Yeah.
Yeah.
And it just looks so freaking cool. And I'm like, God, am I about to buy that? Like, because as a kid, to me that was like, this is about the coolest thing. Like Legos, like, you know, that, but I would never buy it because it was always too expensive as a kid. So but seeing it now, Lego is, you know, they're playing the nostalgia card just like everybody else. They're like, hey, all, you know, these guys were kids 30 years ago. Now that they've got money in their 30s and 40s, you know, the world's going to end anyway from climate change. Hey, like they might as well just, you know, buy this now because like they're not going to make it to retirement, I guess. So like a lot of dark turns today in the podcast that nobody was expecting. But yeah, man, I think they're just kind of playing into the same nostalgia as everybody else, which is, I mean, brilliant on their part, really. Because when I saw that, I was like, man, I might have to pull the trigger on that. That's really dope.
Well, yeah, the adult collectible market is now this whole separate segment. I mean, that I would have never dreamed back in the 80s that there'd be sets that were $500, $600.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Millennium Falcon was 800. So yeah, I mean, now we're old enough, we have the money for these things.
Yeah, people buy it for sure. They buy it. Jared, you got anything you want to talk about? Show off, mention?
Yeah, well, like a little bit of a segment of like vintage toy lines. I recently, so as a kid, I was always into micro machines and stuff, and then I also had another smaller set of little cars and like little, I don't know, plastic, you know, like gas station or whatever airport.
Yeah.
And I recently found, because I was trying to dig out all my other stuff from the garage that I've mentioned in the past episodes, and I finally found the only remnant of it that I've found so far. I'm hoping it's around here somewhere, but the little like car
yeah.
Oh yeah.
You just took me
put
back.
in and has a little magnifying glass. Anyways, it's the world's smallest matchbox. I just remember having these, and basically just, I mean, they were so portable, you could take them anywhere, play with them anywhere. A really good detail for how small they were at the time. And it was just amazing. So my toy for now is just the little display case here.
Nice.
Hopefully I'll find them eventually and I can show off the other stuff.
I have faith
But,
in you.
yeah.
I know you can do it, Jared. You can do it. Cool. I actually was just kind of looking at this earlier. I just thought this was something I got a while ago. I thought it was pretty dope. It's like a 4-pack of all the old school Playmates Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles that they re-released. But it's like the superhero line. So you've got like the Dark Turtle right here, Bebop and Rocksteady and those superhero things, and just kind of like this. I don't know why. I just thought it was really cool. I really appreciated when Playmates started releasing these 4-packs of like the vintage turtles, because you could just get it all in one shot. And they just look cool together. They look, you know, displayed up on a shelf. Pretty dope. So I picked this up. I just thought it'd be cool to talk about today. Just, I don't know. The Dark Turtle is always kind of an interesting, you know, little take on the Dark Knight Batman. I don't know. Always thought it was pretty cool. But anyway.
Cool.
All right, I think that just about wraps it up for another edition of the ToyBoyz podcast. On behalf of ToyBoyz, Eric, Chris, Jared, Avery, who couldn't make it today, and myself, thanks for tuning in. Be sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. And unless you're in Vegas, we'll see you in Vegas. All right, let's sign off, boys.
All right.
ToyBoyz disassemble. We'll see you guys next time. I was about to say, I feel like if we go on too much longer, Aaron might come and shank us all. Soon we'll go too late.
I mean, I feel like we could still talk for another hour, but no,
what
we
you
could do
got?
it.
Really? Can we? What you got? I can talk for another. I mean, it's What do we? Aaron, you can edit this out. This is boring. This is nobody wants to see how the sausage is made.